What's up, everybody? Dave Bartosiak here with another chart of the day. Today, we're talking about Dick's Sporting Goods, ticker DKS. It is the sports store that I'm sure many of you have been to. It's sort of one of those standalone retailers. Always super nice on the inside. You get everything from football jerseys to basketball shoes to fishing gear. Kind of a cool place if you're into that sort of thing. It's like a really, really small Bass Pro Shops. It's kind of like with more athletic apparel, I suppose. But anywho, getting on the chart here, I was kind of surprised to see this. Now, after that August earnings report, you get the big gap down, and then it starts to find this base in October. That from there, we have a huge move. You know, you're talking a stock that was under $100, found itself over 220 in pretty short order. That's something you typically see like from a retailer, right? And then the other bullish aspect of this chart is you have this sort of series of higher highs that's coming in. Now, what I did special, now, you guys all know I use a 200-day and I use a 50-day. That's kind of my bread and butter. So the 200-day is this red line here. Okay, and notice how the 200-day really hasn't come into play recently. Second line is the 50-day moving average. But if you notice, I don't know, maybe you do, maybe you don't, see how astute you guys are when it comes to TradingView, which is our partner on Zacks.com. So when you're in the interactive charts tool on Zacks, this is it. I literally popped this out of there, okay? Bollinger Band 50-day, okay? So what is this? So this is the 50-day moving average, folks. So when you do a Bollinger Band regular, I think the default's 21 days or something like that. That would give you the 21-day moving average. And then the upper line or lower line are standard deviation off of that, right? Or two standard deviations in this case off of that. So what you'll see, and I'll just like throw it out there, and then people will be like, "What are you talking about, Dave?" I'll say, "Oh, it's tracking along the 50-day," and people will look at me and go, "You're nuts. 50 days down here. What are you talking about?" Well, I'm kind of, if you look at this Bollinger Band, for the most part, it is reeling in that price action along the 50 days. So that's what I mean when I say these, right? Is that this the Bollinger Bands off of the 50-day are really helping to contain price. Right? And isn't that remarkable? You got a boost there on the bottom end in May, a boost there on the bottom end in August. And then on the upside, you've got resistance on the top side, resistance on the top side, resistance on the top side. Pretty interesting. Because like if you literally just, we could close our eyes and not even see the price and just look at this channel, and you can kind of gauge what sort of stock you're talking about, right? And if you the difference in volatility is, okay, is this stock going up like this, or is this stock going nuts like this, right? Either way, these moving averages help to smooth that transition. So something to take note of. Yes, I went on a little bit of diatribe there, but I'm sure folks want to learn about Bollinger. So anyway, so the bottom end of the band has provided plenty of support here recently. The 50-day is what we're chopping around. So what are we going to see moving forward, even with this little bit of negativity here? So if we break down below that 50-day moving average, then you're going to have the bottom end of the Bollinger Band that's going to come into play. Ironically enough, this 200-day moving average is ticking up higher. So there could be a scenario where volatility starts to drop, which if we continue in this popping back and forth, this Bollinger Band is going to come down. This one is going to come up, and this 200-day could come into play. So we could get, if we get downside action, I'd expect a retest of that 200-day. If we tick on up and we get into this gap, then you're going to hit the top end of that Bollinger Band. So when that happens, take note, see what the slope on that 50-day is. If it continues positive, you're going to have good things. But if we continue to roll over, I'm looking for a test of that bottom end of that range. So there you have it. That is my not my top stock pick of the week. Look at me getting all Zacksy. That is my chart of the day here for the week, or the second one this week. Next week, we're going to go back to having 3 of them because we won't have the holiday short week. So we'll be back to business as usual. So you can expect these on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So don't forget to follow the author here on Zacks.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out my Twitter too, at Bartosiastics. So for Zacks and for me and everybody else here at Zacks, I want to say thanks, and we'll see you next week.